Imagine a world where you plant something just once and reap its fruits for decades without ever needing fertilizer again. A plant that continues to feed you year after year for 60 years straight, growing abundantly, enriching your soil naturally, and demanding minimal effort from you as a gardener. This isn't a dream. This is a reality that has existed for centuries in certain agricultural practices. And today, we are going to explore one extraordinary shrub that can revolutionize your garden and your approach to sustainable food production. Most gardeners are trapped in a cycle of planting, fertilizing, and you buy expensive soil, fertilizers, and amendments, hoping to get a good harvest, only to find that your plants struggle. Your soil becomes depleted, and the results never match your expectations. Many gardeners are unaware that there are natural systems designed by nature itself to sustain plants, replenish the soil, and produce continuous yields without constant human intervention. Understanding this system is the key to changing your gardening experience completely. The shrub we are about to introduce is not only resilient, but also remarkably efficient in using the nutrients available in the soil. Its root system is deep and extensive, allowing it to access water and minerals that other plants simply cannot reach. This allows the shrub to survive harsh conditions and maintain production for decades. Over the years, the soil around it becomes richer, more fertile, and teeming with microbial life, creating a natural cycle of growth and productivity. To begin understanding why this shrub can thrive for 60 years, it's important to grasp the concept of perennial plants versus annual plants. Most of the vegetables, fruits, and plants in your garden are annuals. They live for one season, give you their yield, and then die. This is why gardeners are constantly replanting and using fertilizers to replace the nutrients removed by the plants. Perennial shrubs, on the other hand, are designed by nature to grow year after year. Their energy is invested not only in immediate growth, but also in building a sustainable root system, storing nutrients, and creating a self-sustaining environment. This particular shrub belongs to a group of plants that have adapted over centuries to survive in various climates and soil conditions. Its leaves, flowers, and fruits are making it valuable not just for food production but also for soil restoration. The shrub's natural chemistry encourages beneficial microorganisms, which in turn break down organic matter and make nutrients more available. In simple terms, this shrub feeds the soil while it feeds you, which is the secret behind its long-lasting productivity. Now, let's address the question every gardener asks. Will it really produce for 60 years? Historical examples and research indicate that when planted in the right conditions with proper initial care, this shrub can indeed produce continuously for decades. Ancient farmers around the world, particularly in regions with limited resources, have relied on similar perennial systems to sustain communities over long periods. They didn't need chemical fertilizers, frequent soil replacements, or constant maintenance. Nature did most of the work. The first step to integrating this shrub into your garden is to select the right location. Choose a spot with adequate sunlight, well-draining soil, and enough space for the shrub to expand its roots. While it is resilient, proper initial planting ensures optimal growth. Dig a hole that is slightly larger than the root ball and mix in a small amount of compost or organic matter to help the plant establish itself. Once planted, water thoroughly but avoid overwatering, as the roots need to adapt to the soil naturally. As the shrub establishes itself over the first few years, you will notice the soil around it changing. Organic matter accumulates naturally from fallen leaves and pruning, and the root system enhances soil structure. Earthworms, beneficial fungi, and microbes are attracted to this healthy environment, creating a balanced ecosystem. This is why after the first few years, you may find that the shrub almost takes care of itself, providing abundant yield without additional inputs. To maximize productivity, gardeners can prune selectively, removing old or damaged branches while encouraging new growth. The flowers and fruits are designed to self-pollinate or attract local pollinators, which increases the likelihood of abundant fruiting. The shrub's resilience to pests and diseases is another reason it is a favorite among perennial crops. Its natural chemical composition often deters common garden pests without the need for pesticides. One of the most remarkable aspects of this shrub is its ability to regenerate soil. Unlike annual crops that deplete nutrients and leave the soil bare, this plant leaves behind organic matter that slowly decomposes, enriching the soil. Its deep roots bring minerals from lower layers up to the surface, making them available to both itself and neighboring plants. Over time, the garden transforms into a fertile ecosystem capable of supporting multiple types of crops alongside the shrub, creating a miniature sustainable farm in your backyard. Let's talk about harvest cycles. Initially, the shrub may take 1 to 3 years to reach full production. During this period, it focuses energy on establishing a strong root system and adapting to the environment. Once mature, however, yields can increase dramatically. Fruits, leaves, or seeds can be harvested multiple times per year, depending on your climate. Unlike annual plants, which produce a single season's yield, this shrub ensures a continuous and reliable harvest, making it invaluable for anyone serious about self-sufficiency or long-term food security. Now, you might be wondering, what about soil fertility? Don't I need to add fertilizers? In most cases, no! The shrub is highly efficient in nutrient cycling. Fallen leaves, decaying fruits, and root exudates provide natural fertilization. If you wish, a small amount of compost can accelerate early growth, but it is not necessary for long-term production. Many gardeners have successfully relied solely on natural inputs after the shrub becomes established, saving both money and effort. Another critical benefit is its environmental impact. By planting perennials like this shrub, you reduce soil erosion, improve water retention, and support local biodiversity. Birds, insects, and other wildlife are naturally attracted to perennial shrubs, creating a balanced ecosystem in your garden. This is in stark contrast to intensive annual agriculture, which often depletes soil and requires chemical interventions to maintain yields. For practical gardening, it is important to know the spacing and companion planting. The shrub should have enough room to expand without overcrowding. Depending on your garden size, you may plant multiple shrubs strategically to provide shade, wind protection, or nutrient sharing with other plants. Companion plants such as legumes, herbs, or flowering plants can further enhance soil health and attract beneficial. Throughout its life cycle, consistent observation is key. While the shrub is resilient, monitoring for signs of stress, disease, or pests ensures long-term success. Minor adjustments such as mulching, pruning, or selective watering can dramatically increase yield and longevity. Over time, you will develop an intuitive understanding of how the shrub interacts with your specific garden environment. A major advantage of this system is time efficiency. Once planted, the shrub requires minimal intervention compared to annual crops. No replanting, no heavy fertilization schedules, and no constant soil amendments. This frees up time for gardeners to focus on other plants, enjoy their garden, or experiment with sustainable gardening techniques. Let's now address the economic value. Consider a typical annual crop that must be replanted each year with fertilizer and labor costs over decades. This adds up to significant expenses. In contrast, planting this shrub once can provide decades of yield with minimal input, effectively turning your garden into a long-term investment that continuously pays off. The taste and nutritional value of the fruits or leaves produced are often exceptional. Because the shrub grows in nutrient-rich, self-sustaining soil, the produce tends to be more flavorful and nutrient-dense compared to conventional crops. Gardeners often report that the difference in quality is noticeable from the first harvest. It is also worth noting that this shrub has cultural and historical significance. Perennial systems like this have been used in ancient civilizations to sustain communities, particularly in regions where soil fertility was scarce or where sustainability was a necessity. Modern gardeners are simply rediscovering these ancient secrets, adapting them to contemporary gardens, with amazing results. For those interested in scaling this concept, planting multiple shrubs can create a permaculture-style garden or even a small orchard by combining shrubs with other perennial plants, trees, and ground covers. You create a self-regulating system that maximizes yield, maintains soil fertility, and reduces labor requirements. Finally, the emotional satisfaction of planting something once and enjoying it for decades cannot be overstated. Many gardeners describe it as life-changing, providing a sense of security, self-reliance, and deep connection to nature. Watching a plant grow year after year, providing for your family, and improving the garden ecosystem is a rewarding experience that few annual plants can match. In conclusion, the journey of planting this extraordinary shrub is one that combines efficiency, sustainability, and abundance. By understanding the principles behind its long-lasting productivity, selecting the right planting location, caring for it properly in the early years, and allowing nature to do its work, you can enjoy decades of harvest with minimal effort. This is the essence of sustainable gardening. Working with nature rather than against it, creating a system that feeds both you and the soil simultaneously. So, take the first step today. Choose your shrub, plant it in a suitable location, follow the steps for early care, and watch as your garden transforms. In time, you'll experience the unparalleled satisfaction of harvesting year after year, enjoying fresh produce without the need for fertilizers, endless planting, or complicated interventions. This is a gardening revolution, a return to ancient wisdom, and a gift that keeps giving for 60 years and beyond.